Wymondham Windmill is a 6-arm Lincolnshire Cross, and she's very rare. She's a Grade 2 star listed mill, which means she's of significant importance not only to the local area but nationally. She's a 5-storey tower mill topped with handmade brick, made in 1813 by the Compton brothers. Most windmills are actually built with either 4 or 5 sails. She's different. She was built with 6 original sails, and this is what makes her unique. Today we've had our first visit from Wymondham School. We took a tour of the mill. Starting at the top, where the engineering works are all contained in the cap, and then came down the 5 floors and given them a talk about each floor and its significance within the mill and its purpose. We hope that 2016 is going to see a new era for the mill. We've received funding from Heritage Lottery Fund and from LEADER to help restore and produce an education programme for the mill. We now have a project running for the restoration. The mill has suffered significant damage due to weather and lack of maintenance in the past. Our aim now is to try and stop that damage and get it restored to the point where we can mill for demonstration purposes.
Oh, I'm delighted to see somebody trying to take it forward and get it in a good state of repair, even if the sails are some way off. Once it's got the top safe, it'll be perfectly possible to put a mechanical power on it. A lot of effort went in back in the 80s when it was in a terrible state. Some people felt it wasn't even worth trying, and to get it to a stage where at least it can go on an engine again will be absolutely lovely. That's what I've always wanted.
Well, it's a nice feeling knowing that you're
go that way a little bit first.
taking a building that, if this work wasn't done, would, in not that many years relative to how old it is, just be a wreck and be beyond repair. So it's nice to kind of tread in the steps of people that have been there and done exactly what you've just done today, but 200 years before.
Myself and some volunteers are lime washing the inside of the windmill. So it takes about 2 or 3 coats of lime wash for each floor, and I think there's 5 floors altogether. And it's taken us a morning so far to put 1 coat on 1 floor. So we've got quite a bit of work ahead of us.
Just slap it on, basically. It looks good already, just with the first coat. It's going to look great when it's all done.
The idea of using lime as a traditional material is because it allows the walls to breathe. So any dampness that's in the walls can come out through the lime and out into the atmosphere. So it doesn't damage the paintwork, doesn't damage the stonework, and that's how it was traditionally done.
You just want it to sit nice and tight to the underside of the steel, the cast plate there that's built into the wall. So I'm just trying to tighten that gap up by just knocking these slates in just steadily, front and back, just to keep it coming up square.
Basically, there's the new weather beam there. So the old one was rotten, so we were lucky we could cut it up to get it out. Obviously, the new one we're not that lucky, and it's also very heavy. Then the weather beam, or road bulk in Lincolnshire, which is a nice Dutch word, which obviously ties back to when the Dutch drained the Lincolnshire fens, goes across the top, and that takes the weight of the cross. So this front section of cap circle round here and round here, we've peeled the tin off And I mean, a lot of that's got to be repaired and sorted out anyway. The tin's not original anyway. It would have been wood originally, vertical boarding to cover the OG, but in this case I think it was replaced when Nigel did it with, I think he said it was old buses. The fact in the olden days they'd have lifted this up the side of the mill in bits and assembled it on the top of the mill is fairly astounding, really.
A modern mill really has an umpteen roles. I mean, there's the education side, and then there's a sort of tourism side, which brings people into an area perhaps they wouldn't normally come. And then there's what it was designed for, grinding flour. So it has many roles really now in the modern age. It's not just a thing of the past, it has something for the future.
It's a very exciting time for everyone involved in the project. After 50 years of standing idle, the gentle giant, as the village children have called her, is finally running. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again, and many, many more people will be able to experience a proper working windmill in Leicestershire. Today we see the end of the first phase of the windmill's restoration. The engineers are on site with the crane and we're replacing the repaired cap. It's been quite nerve-wracking today. I can't really describe how I feel. We're just so happy that we can see a huge, huge difference in the mill. It's been a mammoth task taking on this project, but it's one that we've thoroughly enjoyed doing. Please, please do help continue to support the mill. All donations are greatly welcome, and you can do that either via our website, via our donation page, or simply visit the mill, and we have donation boxes on the site. Thank you very much for your help, kindness and support. Thank you.